All right, I went and pulled apart the fuse box. It's not hard. It's just these two little clips there, and it slides up. You just kind of have to shimmy it back and forth. And took a couple bolts off, and it's pretty much ready to go. So then take a 7mm, and each of these little, I guess, banks of fuses, you just give them a little bit of a twist, and then pretty much ready to start pulling out. And you can leave the fuses in up here, which is nice. And the best part is that you don't have to worry about remembering where each one goes. They only go into a specific spot. They will not fit any other way. There we go. So yeah, you can leave all your fuses in there, no problem. Okay. All right, that was a pain. We got it out. Let's put our fuse panel inside, because that does need to be protected. It is Saturday now. I came out a little bit last night without the camera, just started pulling some hoses and some wires. I'm really just kind of avoiding the inevitable, because I'm at that stage where I really should just be getting underneath there, pulling the starter and working on the converter bolts. But I've done this once before already, the converter bolts that is, and it absolutely sucks. It's the worst part in my opinion. I would rather do pretty much anything else, but they're gonna have to come off. The problem is I just really don't have the tools for it, so I don't know what my plan is gonna be, but I'm gonna have to figure something out. So if I remember correctly, I think the converter bolts are a 15. All right. And I don't know if you guys are even gonna be able to see anything here. All right, wiggled that on. Oh, is that? That is loose. Okay, that's no bueno. And I would say that's from me, but I'm not the last person to mess with those. Schaefer, if you're watching this, it's not that big a deal. All right, back with a better wrench and the stubby extension, which actually may end up getting in the way here. All right, and this is the fun part. We just keep going like this forever.
8 hours later.
Which, if I remember correctly, I have no idea how it comes out. Oh, I bumped you guys. I think it goes down. I could reach the converter bolts with you there. I could just leave you there until the motor came out. But no, you're in the fucking way. And you are an 11, which I do not have a wrench for. And the guys that did my transmission, I have no idea how they got this here like that. You guys can't see it, but behind this, it's probably the bell housing of the transmission's right here. The bolt is literally almost touching it. So they had to have used a wrench. I don't know why you wouldn't face it, that way. That'd be the smartest thing to do. I guess my other option is to disconnect up there, drop it down, and then that'll give me more room, maybe? Working on this truck is like participating in a damn scavenger hunt. Find which piece is blocking what where and where to go from there, and all the while trying not to smash your fingers on cold metal in the middle of winter. It's probably still fall technically, but it feels cold enough to be winter in the evenings. I wonder, can I get rid of this firewall? Probably not. It's probably not a good idea. Are there good replacements for the firewall? Because I hate this shit. But I have no idea what I can use in its stead. Because, I assume this shit probably gets too hot to just not run a firewall. There's a reason why it was installed. But since I drive it so infrequently, would it be okay? Or would doing a fucking 4 or 5 hour road trip or longer in this truck just be uncomfortable because you just feel the heat radiating through the dash? And would it be detrimental to anything? I don't know. I'm sure there's someone who can tell me in the comments that knows more than me. Loosen up, baby. You're going all the way to the playoffs. Okay, I figured it out. I could do this the right way, the slow way. Find an 11mm that'll work. For some reason, I can't find my 11mm wrench, or I could just do it the quick way and buy a new one. Ta-da, done. 2 seconds. There we go. See, here's what my problem was. This was touching the bell housing. That's not gonna work. So we cut it. And I'll buy a new one. I don't know how much they are. I'll figure it out. I'm already spending money on this shit box. So slide that pipe back. Starter comes out. Nice and easy now. Set you up there. You know what? And since we are on the trend of cutting things, fuck this belt. You can see here we're missing like half of it, so no more belt. Fan will now spin freely. Give me the belt. Guys, if I ever down the line decide to start a diesel mechanic shop for whatever reason, just come back to this video and show it to anyone that's planning on taking their truck to my shop. And that should tire me of my dream very quickly, because I will get no customers, because no one wants to deal with a mechanic that works on their shit like this. You spin me right around, baby. Here's another reason why I want to get a new fan. Yesterday was cut short by me not having the right size socket, but now we have one that fits right there inside here. It's very hard to see. Let's see if I can light this up for y'all. There, now you can see that bolt. So there are, I believe, 6 of those that will have to be pulled out, and then that will disconnect the torque converter inside the transmission from the motor. So that's going to be the next step. Probably not going to see much of that just because the angle's so bad you guys won't be able to see anything anyway. As usual, I'll bring you guys back if something interesting happens or once we finish that. Bolt number 1 is out. It still to this day amazes me that they use such a small bolt. Granted, there's 6 of them. That is what is sending the power from this motor into the torque converter. Like, that just blows my mind. 6 of these, maybe 8, are transferring all of the power coming out of the back of that motor into the transmission and putting that down to the wheels. That's wild to me. All right, there's the last bolt. And I did go double check. Sometimes there are 8. Looks like the ATS flex plate that I'm using only uses 6. Again, that's wild to me that 6 or 8 is enough. I would think 12 to 14 at least, and I would think bigger bolts too, but I mean, hey, that is the one thing I've never broken on this truck are those bolts. So they gotta be pretty strong. Okay, now we're starting to get into the exciting part, because we're getting really close to being able to pull this motor and then check for anything on the bottom that's still connected. Like, we're gonna have to deal with that, but I'd rather get it up a little bit so I can figure out what I have to deal with. So we gotta pull these 3 bolts here, same on the other side, but we're getting close. This one right there, it's just barely in a spot where I can't get to it. So I'm gonna first try to bend that, and then if that doesn't work, we will cut it. I don't think I'll be able to bend it. That looks pretty thick. Yeah, there's no bending that. I don't know actually if I can fit this down. I can't fit that in there. We will have to take a 15 and just go to town. We're gonna have to use the open end side of the wrench. Don't even know if that's gonna work. That's in such a terrible spot. It's probably intentional. Okay, well, I can't get that last bolt out until I start to raise up the motor. So we're gonna go ahead and clear everything out of here and get that engine hoist put up on the back of the truck there. Start lifting. I would wager to say that is about as perfect of a fit you could get in here. I didn't think I'd be able to shoot the gap that well. Okay, so now need to find some mounting points for a chain and go ahead and get this thing lifted. Let's see what we got over here. Should do back there, so we'll do up here, so one of these somewhere. I would like to go through here, but I don't know what bolt will do that. So, look at that, perfect. So we'll go right there, right through that one. Okay. I am very nervous. I have butterflies in my stomach right now. Up she goes. Ooh, heard some noises over there. Let's go check. How are we looking? Let's try moving forward just an inch. There we go. We're pretty much ready to go. I got the engine stand ready. Let's just pull this bad girl out. All right, let's inch forward just a tiny bit. So of course now we got rain coming down while trying to move this, and I'm trying to not get water inside this thing. So over there my steering shaft is blocking the oil filter from getting out, and the oil filter housing. I have no choice but to remove it. I have to get it out of the way because I don't want this motor swinging wildly. All right, we're running on very, very limited battery on the GoPro. I really need to get more batteries for this thing because running on one and charging it is not working. All right, that's why we check. Just barely clear it. Make sure there's nothing here in the way. Cool, cool. Looking good, looking good. Actually holding. It's so terrifying. Yeah, that's holding the motor, I guess. Okay guys, winding down now. Just getting this motor ready to be put away for the night. And the next video that you guys are gonna see is going to be tear down on this thing. We're going to be basically cleaning every little thing on here. And then we're also gonna powder coat some stuff. There, that's fairly stable. I'm gonna tighten these down. There you go, that's an LOI Duramax motor pulled, put in a shed. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Come back and follow along with this rebuild. It's not gonna be just head gaskets, even though that's all she needs. We're gonna be doing everything. Until next time guys, peace.